This is The Last Podcast with Brian Renaud and Sheena Thornton, presented by Random Max.
Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be watching the brand new movie Halloween Kills. If you don't know this already, Sheena and I are massive Halloween fans. And we got to see it the other night, thanks to Bloody Disgusting. But we figured, since it's available to watch on Peacock, we will just go ahead and watch it again while we give you our thoughts and reactions and responses and whatever the fuck else
it's a fun time.
Comes to mind. Sound good?
Let's do it.
Alrighty.
Let's watch.
Cheers. To Halloween Kills.
Dink.
Sheena, did you know that Halloween Kills is Jamie Lee Curtis's 6th appearance as Laurie Strode, which means she's now been in more Halloween movies than Donald Pleasance. She now has the record.
She holds the record with Michael Myers. No, he wasn't. No, they.
Yeah, no, he's been in 12 of the 13, or no, 11 of the 12.
11 of the 12 because Season of the Witch.
But yeah, if you take Michael out,
you remove him.
Then she is the next most. It was Donald Pleasance for years and years and years.
He was the main bill. Nobody knew little Jamie Lee.
No, she was a little baby.
She was just a little child with a famous mom.
It's so interesting that with the delay, this came out 40 years after Halloween 2 in 1981.
That is weird.
And this is really reminiscent of Halloween 2 in a lot of ways.
It starts day after, or night of.
Moments after.
I like that about it.
I mean, even in the original Halloween 2, we saw some of the town like rising up for like mob justice. The body count went way up compared to the first one. Like, they really followed a lot of the same beats as the original Halloween 2.
It's made by Halloween fans. I like that. Like, who just did that with Saw? Chris Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just fans making movies, and that's amazing.
Yeah, you can definitely see that with, like, Halloween Kills and Halloween 2018, where it's new, and they erased all these previous movies, but they love to bring back kills and scares that are reminiscent of the ones that we've seen before. So you know that they're big fans, but they just wanted to work with a less convoluted timeline.
It's so convoluted. I'm glad they're not siblings anymore. Although, at some point, I was like, there for it. I was like, this makes sense around H2O because I'm an H2O stan.
Honestly, the sibling, it works for me.
I'm an H2O stan.
I think it'd be hilarious if in Halloween Ends they brought the sibling twist back.
Yes. Your siblings.
How do you feel about the flashbacks in Halloween Kills?
I like it until a certain point, and I'll get to it when it happens. But all of this, I love, because I did want to know how Michael got caught. Because he kills so many fucking people.
Right. So it's like we saw the end of Halloween, and he disappears. So then
where'd he go? And now we know where he went, which is kind of a little bit of a bummer to me, because it was just so elusive where he went. Like, you're like,
the boogeyman.
He's out there.
Right.
He's just out there now. And now we know he went into this yard.
And then just stood there to be captured by these men.
He's just always got to go to his house.
Some of these lines are lifted directly from Halloween 2, 1981, when they're looking for him.
I think I've only seen Halloween 2.
Chestnut South to the Bypass is exactly lifted from Halloween 2.
That's nuts. I need to rewatch Halloween 2 because it's the one I've watched. I've seen Season of the Witch more times than I've seen Halloween 2, I think.
I really love Halloween 2.
I've seen Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 a lot.
When I was younger, there was a minute where I preferred Halloween 2 to Halloween. Because to me, it's kind of like Halloween Kills, where it's an extension of the whole finale. Yeah. So it kind of feels like everything's at 10. And, I was a kid, so there's more boobs, there's more blood. The kills are all over the place. But even putting all of that aside, like, it's so nostalgic for me. I love the creepiness of the hospital hallways. Like, the not abandoned, but the empty hospital is such an amazing location for a movie.
I didn't appreciate Halloween 2 until I watched Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, because that felt like an extension to what I watched and filled in some spaces. Like, she's in therapy. She needs to be.
Yeah.
Yes, like, it filled in, like, a lot of spaces.
Back to Halloween
Kills.
Lonnie, if you don't remember, in the red, he is one of the bullies in Halloween 78.
When we first watched this, I did not remember Lonnie at all.
Yeah, who ends up, like, making Tommy fall on his jack-o'-lantern. So it's interesting. We're seeing him, recast, obviously, for the flashback. He also is one of the kids that goes to sneak into the Myers house. And Donald Pleasance is like, woo!
Get the fuck out of here, yeah. I like that we see the bully getting bullied. Because I like it. it makes sense.
On one hand,
this is why he's bullying Tommy.
It shows that bullying is a cycle.
Yeah.
Which it can be.
It very much
But
is.
on another hand, I feel like this movie's trying to, like, give him a redemption arc.
That he doesn't need.
But also, 40 years later, everybody's going to be different. Like,
exactly. So we don't need to do this because he could be just a different man 40 years later. So we don't need to, like, if he had turned around and kicked these kids' asses, I'd be like, there's Lonnie. I probably would have remembered him.
It's interesting because they bring back so many characters from before. And Lonnie is a character from before, but a barely bit
character.
And it's like they want us to be just as invested in him as we are in Marion, and we are in Tommy, and we are in Lindsay.
And I'm not going to be.
It doesn't quite work.
But what you said before, like, I would have been invested in Tommy. Oh, this is so crazy.
They nail the look
Hold
for
on,
1978 Mike Myers.
Mike Myers of Austin Powers fame.
Like, skinny Michael Myers from the 78 version, they really killed it.
21-year-old Michael.
This honestly makes me want to see a whole new one set in the 70s. Like, because they just killed the aesthetic.
I would love to see one that's just like, what did Michael do
that we haven't seen
the next Halloween
right.
after this one? And nobody moved, which is my weird. Like,
I mean, not nobody moved. Like where's Ben Tramer?
I would love to know.
Where's Ben Tramer?
Where's Ben Tramer? Isn't he dead?
He died in Halloween 2. So,
Isn't he dead?
So
yeah.
in this version, he's not dead.
Not dead. So yeah, I'd love to see what Ben Tramer's up to.
I mean, I'm sure many of the characters move, and also we don't know. Some of the survivors may have moved elsewhere, but they're coming back.
And they came back
to celebrate and meet at the bar.
You think Tommy was like, Tommy lives here. Tommy is not going anywhere.
Tommy definitely feels like he's like Laurie. They've basically made Tommy Laurie of Halloween 2018.
Laurie doesn't do shit in this movie.
Laurie literally does not do anything in this movie. It is so reminiscent of Halloween 2. That's another
lays
similarity.
in the bed and she chats it up with.
She has a cheesy ass monologue.
This whole glass situation and people are like, is he looking out? Is he looking in on himself? Ah! I don't think Michael Myers, you screamed.
One thing I would say, if you actually watch the 78 version, he never moves that fast.
No.
He never bounds out of the closet. He never jumps like that.
He's like a fine wine where he only moves fast with age, so this is inaccurate.
Right. It works for the 2018 timeline.
This is not.
But for it to be a flashback to 78, he did
would
not
have
move
dragged
fast.
out of that closet, and this man would have shot him twice, and then he would still be dead probably.
But this is by far the best looking original mask since the original.
Yes.
God, those sequels dropped the ball on the fucking mask.
I want to see all the masks lined up.
Everybody knows how many people Michael Myers has killed on this night.
Right.
But they wanted to get another death in, but they can't change that count.
Because it's canon. So
now
they had
it's
a cop do it.
Right.
And
you know, Michael Myers does not use a gun, so they couldn't blame a gunshot.
He kind of does later on.
So in this timeline, that's the first death by gun, when he hits the door.
Is there ever a death by gun?
The only other one was in part 4. He uses a double-barreled shotgun and he shoves it through a woman.
That's not. Doesn't count.
So he's killed 2 people by gun ever in the franchise, but neither one did he shoot.
No.
Can you imagine if Michael Myers was just like,
pow? This is what I hate. It looks like Loomis, but it don't sound like Loomis.
Oh yeah, they kill it with the look. But it's not even the same actor and voice person, so why didn't they get a better voice person?
Why didn't they get a better voice person?
The music is so good. And I love that this shot is reminiscent of the original opening. And like Loomis there, you cannot tell that's not Donald Pleasance. No. There are 5 actors who came back for this one. Nick Castle, of course. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Tommy.
Lindsay. No, Tommy's Anthony Michael Hall.
Tommy is.
Kyle Richards as Lindsay. Nancy Stevens as Marion Chambers.
Yep.
It's Charles Cyphers who plays fucking Sheriff Brackett. And I can't remember if they leave it in, but when I read the original draft of the script, they said, I thought you were dead. And I said, fucking same.
I think they do leave it in because I think I said same in our screening.
Like, I mean, good for him for still being here.
He does a great job for being so old.
He gets some violence in.
He gets some violence in.
And then he gets some violence did.
Takes some violence, but he brings up Annie out of nowhere, he's like, she killed my daughter 25 or 40 years ago. And everyone's like, whatever, sir.
Like, who's
like,
Annie?
Nobody in that hospital mob acknowledges it. Like, okay.
Yeah. And one thing that bothers me is
What?
the shots of dead Annie in Halloween Kills are lifted from Halloween 2, 1981, which is no longer canon.
So you can't pull that shit.
Little pieces are canon.
This is how you know it's Halloween fans that made this. They're like, we don't care. We're going to take whatever we want.
So in Halloween 2018, they were credited as like sexy nurse and hunky doctor. And when David
now?
Gordon Green was writing Halloween Kills, he said he had these two places for people in the plot.
Right.
And he had such a good time working with these two actors on their bit part in Halloween.
Great.
He decided, I'm going to flesh out those characters.
Good for them.
That is like...
Good for
them. They
them.
did everything right as actors. They made the director want to work with them again, that they got a fucking huge part in the next movie.
And we find out so much about them. And I was sad when they died.
I honestly wanted
them. I was a little sad.
They're very likable. And like... I have an issue with all of these slasher sequels where like there's so many new characters introduced just to be killed so the legacy characters can keep living.
Which is what I was going to say.
I would really have loved for them to continue on. At least one of them. Like she seems like she could have been badass.
She would have been great. She grabbed that gun from him, but that's what I was going to say. How come the black people die first again? I thought we were done with that.
It's a good question. Like honestly, like
I get the reasoning behind why they die. They're still bit characters basically, but with an expanded role. But come on.
But these movies are unnecessarily white. Like,
come on.
There are really no leads whatsoever.
No
of color.
black people. These are the only two black people I've ever seen in Haddonfield, Illinois.
Well, there's the woman who dies later, the interracial relationship.
Oh, yep.
Halloween franchise has not ever been known for its diversity. But the problem is that, like, they're so all about feminism in this new trilogy.
It's like women.
Hello, blind spot. You're not going to have any room for people of color.
Or queer folk. Because wait.
I feel like there was a queer somewhere.
Because wait for it.
Stop. I've already blocked it out.
You've already blocked it out, but there's two queer
Little
people.
fucking John, Big
I was like, how
John.
could you forget Little and Big John?
By far the worst part of this movie, Halloween Kills.
This
is what we call gay face.
Yeah.
Where,
two straight actors.
I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I believe two straight actors are playing caricatures of gay men. James Corden. And
Danny McBride is spilling out of their mouth.
Like, all they are on screen is just a big joke to be killed.
Yeah.
And it's just like, aren't we past that? First of all, cast queer people and let them just be real people instead of caricatures.
Just two people living in a home.
Yeah.
They also did that weird thing with that interracial couple, and I was like, about that kind of, but it wasn't as bad as Little and Big John.
The reason that one works for me is like they're just playing with a drone. Like they're just there. They're just being people.
Right.
Whereas this queer couple, they're just a joke. They are literally just a joke.
It's so sad.
It's not even funny.
No. And it goes on.
We were in a rowdy advanced screening and people did not laugh at that scene.
And the crowd
was just uncomfortable. Lit. Right. They were loud at every other scene, and then Big John and Little John.
And we were just crickets because everybody was so fucking uncomfortable.
Oh, see, here. Annie
Look
from
at
Part
Annie.
2.
I do not like how they call Laurie crazy so much in this movie. Like, you fucking crazy asshole. Like, you crazy bitch. Like,
but the point is that the whole town is crazy.
Yeah, they're all fucking insane.
Also, these are all real firefighters.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good for them. This was filmed where Dawson's Creek was filmed.
You would, of course,
North
know
Carolina.
That. Halloween Kills is only the third ever Halloween movie that filmed in the fall.
Good for it.
Yeah. The others were the fourth, which you can tell. The fourth one looks incredible.
Yeah.
The opening sequence of Part 4 is iconic for how fall-like it feels.
4 might be the least watched one.
But to me...
But I love 5 so much. I've watched 5 like 20 times.
5 is so bad. 4 to me is the most reminiscent of the original lineup.
Yeah.
But the other one anyway was H2O, also filmed in the fall.
I fucking love H2O.
Love H2O.
I'm
it's like Scream meets Halloween. It's perfect.
It's 90s horror at its best.
That's one of the things I love so much about Halloween.
I want Josh Hartnett to come back.
It's come out over 4 decades, which Jamie Lee Curtis has played a part over 4 different decades in each of the 4 decades. But the movies that come out are so reminiscent of the times.
Yes.
You get the 70s movies, you get the 80s movies, you get the 90s movies.
You get it.
Then you get fucking Resurrection, the turn of the century, 2000 movies.
Busta Rhymes is in that.
Like,
Why?
fucking bust a fucking Then we get the late teens, and now we're in the 20s. Like,
and this
you
feels
really
right.
see Halloween reflects horror, the horror genre at the time, you see in the Halloween movies. And I love that. Because Friday the 13th, it's not that way. You always just see...
And Jason never, unless he's like fucking like in space or something, he never looks different. Michael ages. You can tell that Michael's aging.
He moves different.
The
he's mask is
bigger.
Different.
Like, you can tell that this is an older man. And
it's really interesting to me that he just surrendered to all the cops in the 70s, but now he's like, I can take on this massive group of guys, masculine men.
He gets better with age.
Maybe he just has nothing to lose.
He's an old fucking man. He's like a curmudgeon that's like, fuck it, I don't care anymore.
And I guess they don't have guns.
No.
When has Michael ever stopped because of guns?
Nothing can stop him. He doesn't give a fuck. But, yeah. He's just stronger. Somehow. I hope to be as spry as Michael Myers at, what, like 61?
I'm going to go with, I hope to be as spry as Laurie Strode.
Oh, because you're not killing people. You're right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sheriff Brackett back 40 years later.
What a real old man looks like.
Well, because he was actually only 30 when he played... Or no, he was 40 when he played Sheriff Brackett. But his daughter, Annie, was 29, so they were only 11 years apart. But, so yeah, here he is, 40 fucking 3 years later.
He made it.
How do you...
He made it.
You never know when you're filming something that you're going to be making another one in 40-some years. Like...
Oh... There's a third one. There's a third. Halloween 2.
This is the third Halloween 2, but it's also the first Halloween 3? But it's the second Halloween 3.
Because it's a sequel.
Because there was never a Halloween 3 in the Halloween Rob Zombie universe.
Yeah. No, because Season of the Witch. But is Season of the Witch, is it 3? Do you count it as...
I mean, it's literally called Halloween 3.
Like...
It establishes itself, though, by showing Halloween on TV in the movie.
Which is weird.
That it is not in the same universe.
No, yeah.
So all of the Halloween movies, therefore, exist in the Season of the Witch
So I don't know
universe.
if it goes... So, like, Season of the Witch, people are watching this right now, possibly, but I don't know if...
But then in the Season of the Witch movies, what is Halloween 3?
Right? There is not one. It's 4. No. It's 4.
But then what's 4?
5.
Then what's 5?
It doesn't exist.
Paul Rudd was Tommy Doyle.
Which is a real asshole in this one. I do not care for
he's
adult
kind of an asshole
Tommy
in the 90s,
Doyle.
in 96, and honestly, they reached out to Paul Rudd, and he wanted to do it. Oh. But he was filming Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh, fuck that.
And then they were both delayed so long, he easily could, like...
He could have done
if they could have restructured their scheduling. Wow. But... Yeah, that would have been
crazy.
Honestly,
Paul Rudd unhinged like this.
Anthony Michael Hall is probably the better dramatic actor.
I couldn't see it.
But I do want to dive into the parallel universe where Paul Rudd did film Halloween Kills.
You know what I see when I see Paul Rudd playing Tommy Doyle as an adult in this? I see Paul Rudd running up, and this is the end with that bottle of wine. Yeah, this is the better choice.
Anytime they introduce any diversity, it's just to kill it off.
It's just to die.
They want to stay so true to the original, but then the original was not gory.
No!
The original was not graphic.
No. He like sliced Laurie's arm in the original. That was like a little bit of blood.
Yeah.
It was real Hitchcock.
But yeah, the needle to the neck, no blood.
Nothing.
Throat slash, no blood. Lots of kills off screen. I mean, there's only 5 total kills in the original.
Yeah, because we only see, what's her boyfriend's name? Linda's boyfriend? Bob. We only see him like hung up. There's no blood on him at all. What are you going to do with that? Oh, what? Oh.
Like, to me, I love horror of all kinds, but there's nothing scarier than just a sheer force
just
in front of you.
Unhinged killer.
Like, this is not, a ghost or a goblin or whatever. Like, it's...
Goblin.
I know. It's literally just a big man who can He can,
11 people
overpower
at one
you.
point in this movie at once. There's 11 firefighters at that scene.
Do you want to know the final body count
Yes.
of Halloween Kills?
Oh, shit,
Do you want to guess?
48.
Oh, no.
It feels like he kills 48 people here.
It's 28.
It's 28.
It's 28. Yeah.
I doubled it.
I believe that's the
feels
new
like
record
he kills-
for a slasher movie. The previous that I found, I could be wrong, so let us know. Jason Goes to Hell, he kills 27 people. But Michael has never killed on this level.
He's on a
before.
Jason level here.
I think before, I wrote it down. Yeah, before his record, Rob Zombie, he killed 26 in 2007.
Well, it's Rob
But
Zombie.
in the original timeline, his record was 16 in both 4 and 6. And then in 2018, he actually killed 19, which I didn't think it was that many.
No, it wasn't that many.
But he killed 19 people. So
it feels like...
in that regard, 28 isn't that much, because of course they had to step it up from 2018.
But it feels like he killed so many people in this. It's just groups.
They have to pull it out back in ends, because otherwise groups. Haddonfield will be out of people.
Yeah, it's just fucking chunks of people, but also they all wait to be killed politely. And I like that.
I will go one at a time.
Yes, I like that about people. And they wait their turn for
There
things.
he is, good old Lonnie Elam.
Lonnie, I'm so sorry I didn't remember you. She's so cute.
I love Marion.
She's so cute.
I love her so much. I loved her in H2O, and I love her here, and I love her in Halloween and Halloween 2. She's just chain smoking as a nurse.
That's all she does, and she shares a scene with a young Joseph Gordon-Levitt in H2O.
Yeah.
Remember
Not
that?
for long.
No, he dies
for
really
both of them.
Yeah.
Like, he gets to last until the next movie.
Why?
Whatever his nuts is with the curly hair.
Why?
That's what I...
Whatever his nuts is.
They're like, okay, you're back
Lonnie's
for another
kid.
movie, but you have to be in a skirt and heels the whole time.
Because your costume was Bonnie and Clyde.
And
Good
also,
luck.
he was... Was it a misunderstanding that he kissed the other girl, or was he just being a bad person?
He was like, I really fucked up.
But she forgives him here because like, the world is ending?
I wouldn't forgive this, even though the world... I was like, my family's been through this. It's fine.
You don't need this dick.
No, not at this time, even.
The jack-o'-lantern face is so horrific.
Oh, Michael.
Like, Michael literally is like, before I move on...
I have some time to kill.
A little crafty work.
Yeah, they'll take a minute.
See, I obviously get that some characters are choosing, like, I'm gonna go hunt Michael Myers.
Yeah.
But for the characters that are like, I need to go hide at my house, get in your car and go to the next town over. Michael's not gonna go over there. Michael doesn't visit Russellville. He doesn't give a fuck.
He only tools around in his stolen cars in Haddonfield. But that's what I'm saying the whole time. Why don't they just say, like, this isn't my problem anymore? I've been through enough, and just leave.
In the previous, like, timelines, Michael would hunt either because of his bloodline or, like, he went after the nurse to get the paperwork about Laurie to go find her in California.
Yeah.
But so it was always, like, personal. He would, like, track you down. And so here, they bring back 5 of his previous victims, and then they just happen to be in his path, like...
This is very unrealistic.
They want to remove the personal element so bad, but keep the benefit of him still tracking down the characters he's tracked down.
And that's why I say Laurie Strode should be dead at the end of this, so we can just watch Michael go. And just see when he has nothing. But nobody agrees with me. It's a very unpopular opinion so far.
Honestly,
and it didn't happen.
They wanted to do a sequel to Halloween 2018, but they were like, we can buy a trilogy out of this. So Halloween Kills was made. It's literally only an extension of the first part. Like, it was always going to be Halloween Ends is Michael versus Laurie. And
I hope it's over for Laurie because she's been through enough, honestly. And they've already given her a Lifetime Achievement Award, so.
Yeah.
I don't like that Tommy says things like, night-night as an adult, or he starts his fucking empowering speech to go rally a crowd as the boogeyman is here.
Boo!
He's listening to some, what does he say? Some spooky music.
Yeah, the writing for Tommy, I mean, honestly, for the whole town, like, evil dies tonight. Like, all of it is so
Done
corny.
with it.
It's so corny.
Done with it.
This is the first ever Halloween movie with Laurie Strode in it where she has not a single scene with Michael Myers. Not a single one.
That's nuts.
I think that just proves that, like, this is literally a bridging chapter to the
final
one.
We didn't need this.
No, this is strictly a money grab. I mean,
this at all.
I don't hate it. No. Just like all of the sequels are money grabs.
It's better than the one before it.
It's essentially like an extension of the finale that still lets them to do the time jump and do the original jump they always wanted to do before the finale. I have to believe she's on drugs because even though I mean, I guess you can just say like, you know, she's in shock still because her husband's dead. But
I don't think they drugged them yet.
Why are you so chill? You're like, we killed him. He's dead.
I think it's just her acting, and it's bad. I'm sorry, I don't want to hate. Yeah, that was a
but
choice.
I do have the same question. It does
choice.
seem to be an acting choice, and I wonder if it's a her choice or a directing choice.
That's a gamble.
It's too detached for me.
But based on, I think it's
He won't
her
hurt
choice.
anyone ever again.
And I think that
how would you be that confident?
he just went with it, probably. It's
Thank
so
you.
weird.
Sorry,
Thank
Karen.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Told me why.
Then she's like ape shit, like stay in your fucking room, like later on. She's not drugged. This is a fucking
And also,
weird. This is a weird choice.
We don't lead with that. You don't walk in the room and say, "Y'all know he's alive."
We didn't
right?
kill him.
Like who just tried to murder y'all?
Sort your shit. He's
out here.
Still murdering. Wow. She rigged that house.
Just
Home
made
Alone
one
style.
little mistake. The little floors and the big fireman.
And also that Michael Myers is superhuman.
I mean, they basically say that at the end of this. She's like,
Right.
he transcends and like brute force
What is
is
she
not
gonna
going to stop
do?
him. She basically said,
What is she
when
gonna
I
do?
die, he will die. Like, they're going to die together. But that goes back to
How?
him being
Why would they
obsessed
be-
with her and
yeah.
having this deep-ass connection.
Why would that be a thing?
But I guess maybe she's just delusional in this. But it's almost too hard to buy that it's weird for her to think that way when we've been told to think that way through the whole franchise so far.
That can't be the movie that we're gonna see next.
What?
Where it's like, he dies, I die, or we die together.
They're going to die together.
Stupid.
And she's going to be especially angered because he now came back and got her daughter.
It's fucking dumb.
But that's kind of what her daughter gets because she was like, Mom, you're crazy.
She fucking sucks. She's the worst daughter in horror movie history.
And now Laurie's like, Karen.
What are you gonna do, Karen? He's back.
Rest
Told
in
ya.
peace.
Bye. He has so many guns. Like, what's up?
Right. There's always that one person who's like, I have an
What
arsenal.
the fuck? Like, I'm also low-key nodding to Tommy Doyle. He's a little aggressive for my taste. And kind of talks in weird baby talk sometimes.
But does he not represent members of our society?
Oh, yeah, he
who
sure
are
fucking
very
does.
angry and have guns and are looking for any reason to rise up and hunt people?
Maybe that's why I don't like Tommy Doyle very much.
Because Anthony Michael Hall is doing a good-ass job.
I think Tommy Doyle would like me very much.
Yeah, we're not supposed to... He's not one of us.
Ew, Tommy.
But I do think he's a good depiction of members of society in 2018.
Tommy. Can't stand him.
Oh.
None of these people handle this very
But
well.
I do love Lindsay handles it.
She's filling a bag with bricks right now, and
Like,
I
she's
really
like-
admire this.
What can I do? And she could run.
Yeah.
But she's like, no.
I'm going to help these fucks that are helpless
She does
in this
more
car.
with a pillowcase and bricks than Marion does with a full-ass
Her
gun.
hair out.
I mean, I feel like old lady hair does probably come out
It
easier.
probably comes out super quick. I wonder if Michael, like, he's got to be able to be like, this is that fucking nurse from a long time ago. You know? Or if he's just like, this is another person in my way.
Right. Does he know who Tommy and Lindsay
Right.
are? Does he know who Laurie is?
right.
Like,
Or are they just people in his way?
right. It's very interesting to see people really fight back. Like
Yeah.
the guy in the doctor costume who's actually a nurse. He he really could have run from the car.
No.
But he fucking tries to strangle Michael. Like,
I would have run from
that's
the car.
really brave and really admirable.
Yeah, I would've
like, and then
cried.
she comes back with the fucking gun.
She has a
like,
bag of bricks at one point, Lindsay, and that's so great to me.
Lindsay is badass, and I really, really hope she's a main character of Ends.
Jamie Lee Curtis is a little unhinged, I think.
I mean, she's married to Christopher Guest.
Yeah.
Speaking of marriages,
She is.
Marianne Chambers, played by Nancy Stevens.
I was like,
She's married to Rick Rosenthal,
oh, fuck yeah.
who directed Halloween 2, amongst many other movies.
But,
But they didn't meet
yeah, they didn't meet there.
on Halloween 2. Yeah, she had a movie that she wanted to see, and he held a private screening for her. Is that not the most,
That's
like,
romantic as fuck.
amazing, like, screening a movie that I wanted
Private
to see?
film?
And back then, you couldn't just, like, see a movie, obviously. Like, he made sure that she could see this movie.
That's
like,
amazing. What movie was it?
I don't fucking know.
Oh.
But they've been together this whole time. That's amazing. I
them.
love that.
He is still in a dress.
Right. He changed his shoes to more sensible footwear.
But still was like, I can
He's
run
like, the
in this
skirt,
dress.
honestly, it
I
really
can
works.
do it. I can run.
He's like, yeah, women
That's
are
why,
onto
that's
something.
why I wear a lot of skirts.
And
You
that's
never
why
know where
clothing
you're gonna
should
to
have no
run.
gender.
Yes. Seems nobody's in charge.
It's such a contrast to Halloween 2 where the hospital is just dead.
Empty.
Like, even
which
the
I
doctor,
love.
like, shows up drunk and he's like, give me some more coffee. Like,
Yeah,
He's
no.
not from Jersey, though. I don't know why.
He had a hard Jersey accent. And she starts this mob then. Because Tommy was like, what?
That's so fucking
What?
true, Karen.
Karen killed this man.
And that's why she feels guilty and tries to help. But lock him into the 2 doors where they can still see him, that is a terrible plan.
Why?
Or stand in front of him because they're not going to hurt her.
Why did she do that?
But she wasn't willing to go that far.
No, because she's fucking...
She did not want to chance her getting injured.
No.
Well, guess what, honey?
Guess what, you fucking asshole.
Because she really...
Guess what?
Like, if she stood in front of him, they would not have hurt her.
She could have stopped this. She could have stopped a lot of things from happening.
Evil dies
This
tonight.
shit.
Who says that?
Why is the sheriff
I am
not
the
in
law.
charge?
Who says that?
I can't believe her name's
You
Karen.
dumbass bitch. It really is Karen that
It's
fucks
all-
up every step
all
of the
her fault.
way.
It's all Karen's fault. Good riddance.
After you go through the events of Halloween 2018 and find out your mom was right about needing to be prepared for him to get out, you have the nerve of knowing that he's alive and not tell her when she's awake?
Yes, you don't tell her. You don't talk down Tommy and cause a mob. You hide the person that the mob is against in the worst place possible between all glass on a high floor.
I just have to say she's been through a lot.
Not as much as Laurie, and
But
she's
a
still...
dumbass bitch.
Like, oh, great. We're back with the Johns. He grabbed a cheese knife. This is so
Every choice
weird.
they make is nonsensical.
They
lock themselves into the house.
He's right by the front door, purposefully. Like that was a close up. That was an insert.
I don't understand anything about their
had
characters,
to- we
their
had to see it.
performances, or their writing. There's
And it
nothing
sucks,
to them
yeah.
other than being stupid gay men
That are stoned.
and then murdered.
So much eye trauma.
Ugh, yeah, you don't like.
I hate it. I hate eye things. I can't do it.
He just stands there and waits to be killed.
This is so ridiculous. And back to this mob.
I mean, this is honestly horrifying.
Ooh, but there's a mime in the... Look.
There
What
is a
happened to
mime.
him?
Well, it's Halloween.
Oh, yeah. This is so ridiculous.
The fact that this was written and filmed and everything before the January 6th insurrection
It feels
is
very insurrection-esque.
fascinating. Like the shattering of the windows and everything, it's uncanny.
Just led by a angry white man with a lot of guns and an anger issue.
Pretty fucking typical. Yeah, and normally I'm not a huge fan of flashbacks, and honestly, there are more than I need in this.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if the first one like doesn't establish that you're going to use flashbacks as a storytelling device, it can feel a little bit random.
But also, like, it's broken up, so I guess it's one long flashback, but it doesn't need to be. This movie feels really like anti-doctor. Oh God, is that a commentary too? It's like, fuck science and health. We are a mass mob that does not need to wear our mask because we're all Tommy Doyle, and we say fuck healthcare. We're not getting your vaccine.
Showing hypocrisy.
We're not getting. I thought for a second they were chanting USA.
Stop.
I thought they were gonna not.
Like, it is really interesting seeing Michael like essentially being hunted. Like, people keep running towards him.
Which is not typically the case.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, usually we see him pretty much like killed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like left ambiguous, and here it's like, bitch, he's
I'm up.
still there.
I'm not going down. I'm old as fuck, and I'm here to stay.
His Lonnie's son, I still don't know what his name is, but
I have no clue.
His head death on the stairs is nasty. And
It's
then like
disgusting.
he's already gonna die, but Michael still like stops and he's like, oh,
Nah, I'm gonna
the
take
cherry
one
on
moment.
top.
He's like, let me finish what I've started.
Yeah, you know that Karen is supposed to be redeemed by leading him here.
Karen sucks.
Gotcha, which is the
Shut
exact
up.
same thing she said in the first one.
So basic. What a huge man.
Hey, Michael.
Oh, his dad
Everyone's
line.
entitled to one good stare. Stare, I said. I know it's
Just
scare.
one good stare down. Now wait quietly for your turn to fight Michael Myers. You think at any point Michael's like, why did I come back here?
I mean, he just got shot 5 more times.
Like, why did I come back here? What was this for?
The amount of bullets this man can take.
He wraps his own hand, you see here at one point.
Well, he had to. Laurie shot his fingers off at the end of the last one.
He's taking care of himself. You think he's like in his house sometimes pulling out his own bullets?
In the early draft of the script, you saw him wrap his hand. Oh. But they cut it. I wouldn't want to stab him. I'd just like kick him really hard in the crotch.
I think I'd stab him. You just want to get a nut shot in? Just one good one?
I don't want to stab someone. I've already said this. This is canon on the podcast.
And this sucks. I do not like this ending monologue situation.
The monologue is bad.
We didn't need it.
The message is more than clear.
We didn't need it. But also...
And he's like, can you shut up, lady?
What?
Like, she's like, fear. Like, shut up.
He's like passed out on his morphine, his double shot over there.
That's the only excuse I give Laurie, is that she's drugged up and she's feeling herself on her morphine. I really do like the mob fighting Michael. It's very like scary that he holds his own against them. But to me, I don't love this part.
I'm not mad at it.
Because they all just wait to be killed one by one.
I would run. Oh no.
Achilles. Yeah, once he starts killing, you run.
Yeah, you just go.
Nobody's making any progress here.
He tends to walk slowly. You could probably, if he's got some other folks to deal with,
he's gotten speedier, but he still doesn't run.
This speech sucks so
bad. It's really bad. It's the most basic live, laugh, love bullshit. But I am happy a main character died. Even the way they shot it is very odd.
Peace out, Karen. Spliced with it's some Psycho shit.
I don't love it.
Because it belongs in Psycho, where things are bloodless, and this is
full
of blood.
It almost looks like they couldn't get them both on set at the same time.
She was really just stuck in that hospital room the whole time, and I hated
Laurie did nothing.
So she could just be all vibes right now and there, and just looking out the window.
She did nothing.
She was morphed up.
Yeah. Overall, I think it's a really good Halloween sequel.
It's better than the last one.
Better than many Halloween sequels, I feel. Lots of brutal original moments.
It felt like he killed 48 people to me.
28.
But it's really 28?
28. Please let us know if that is not the highest body count of a slasher. I could not find one higher, and I don't think anyone's higher than Jason.
Not Freddy.
And Jason was 27, and Jason Goes to Hell. Definitely not Freddy.
Definitely not Freddy.
And I mean, I don't count a zombie movie or whatever.
No.
Only Anyway.
There's a lot of kills. Yay, we did it. We watched it.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Come again
Halloween.
soon. We do love Halloween.
We will be here. Like us. Subscribe. Share.
Comment.
Follow. Hit us up on Facebook. Email us suggestions. Review us on Apple.
Yes.
Follow us on Good Pods. Hit us up on Twitter.
Anchor. Apple,
Spotify. The
just
Halloween
name them
music
all.
Is so intense.
It's so fucking loud right now. I can't think. I'm just naming services.
Have a happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
This has been The Last Podcast with Bryan Renaud and Sheena Thornton. Visit randomactchicago.com for more.